Forgot to put 360 in your name. No scope 360, Dio.
I'll let you burn it down, but you have to play Lizard Man because that's the only one that can actually do that. Imagine how strong you would be in this game if you were a Lizard Man compared to a wolf. Just imagine it.
Toe Clan, what's up, buddy?
As the world begins to move around you at its pace, and you feel as though you're left alone in empty space, dream of ways to feel alive, make a vision of how to thrive, don't let anyone, anything get in the way of how you survive, living no regrets. Living no regrets, no. You need to relieve all the need you've been feeling. You need to believe to receive all the healing. Living no regrets. Living no regrets, no. You need to relieve all the need you've been feeling.
It's right next to the area called Taco Bell.
That'll be our staff areas, huh? That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, little food themes going on, but nah, can't do that. Gotta make it more all mystical, not all realistic. Otherwise, what's the point?
Okay, you're at an elven taco stand.
There you go, Elvin Pizza Hut. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Make a choice to live your life without any excuse. Living no regrets, no regrets, no regrets. Anything you can do to strive, never lose grip of the drive. Be the best at everything you make of yourself, you just have to try. Living no regrets. Living no regrets, no.
Why is that, Nick? Is it because they killed the quest, or no one just knew how to do it?
Yeah, I remember that armor. And then I think later on they made it droppable, right? So I think they actually started duping it. Am I anywhere close on that?
I don't know about that armor, but duping was always a problem, both DF and DFC. People just, well, they couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah,
And that's why bonded items have to be ultra rare, period. And it's not like duping's going to be a problem in this game because all these items will have proper IDs and you'll be able to cross reference it to like, when did this drop? And if like, oh, this didn't actually drop, oh, well, we know it's been duplicated. We got to find out how
yeah,
they're doing it and stop it. But yeah, that's not going to be a problem. But still, you don't want bonded items everywhere. You want them to be like the rarest of the rare thing.
yeah. It's true.
Other than for Cox, they can have like five.
They kind of need it, right?
Hey,
Zing. Oh, okay. I remember the name being just really enticing just to read. You know, you're like, oh, that sounds awesome. I want it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that, there's something to be said for kind of like, not just quest items being bonded, but, in the last 10 years plus of playing, replacement muds, come across some cool ideas for basically creating like a run, or not so much a raid or a dungeon, but it's basically the same idea. And to have an area that's built almost specifically for like a special trip that you go on, kind of like Nomavir or an evil, I guess that would be way deep in Unicorn Glen or something like that. But
now make it to Underdark. Underdark.
yeah, or Underdark if it was like a constant, kind of like a higher difficulty area that's a special place that you had to do something to travel to it as a group. And then if once you go through that area and you get to the end of it, have some kind of specific event or kind of like an overall loot table that as you collect stuff along the way, I don't know, it's kind of like it's pretty much like a dungeon, but in terms of DFC. Mines of Zackerias. What was that? What did they drop in that area to make it worth it? Yeah. The experience was really high in those areas, and I know towards the end there were so many like high level areas that were introduced, and I'm still skeptical about all that because of the fact that it's like, do you make 75 easier to get to, or just kind of trying to figure out what they were trying to go for. And it'll all be based around kind of the level cap, the soft cap, I guess. Or do you remove the cap at all? and have no cap at all.
Well, like for the players themselves.
Yeah.
Well, you saw my opinion earlier. I think that a soft cap, like what they had in DF1, would probably be for the like for the best. Like you'd go to 1 to 50 and everything just levels up normally like it should, and then from like 51 to 75, it gets as hard as it was in DFC. Maybe a little easier, maybe like 10, 15% easier to get to 75. Because 75, what 5 people got that? Nix could probably say. How many got 75, Nix?
Wasn't there a rogue named Zio that got really high up there?
It was a very, very tiny amount anyway that got there, and that was a challenge playing all throughout the game to get that high. And then I would love to see there be no permanent cap. I would love for it to be like an endless challenge that you could totally do if you literally had no life. Like you could go past 75, but it would be outrageous amount of EXP. Like you'd have to get all the EXP from level 1 to 75 to level to 76.
Yeah.
Just in the game, bud. Yeah, so like 5 or 6 in the entire game got to 75. I think it should be a little easier than that to get to 75.
Oh, that's right. Because I don't know why I forgot, but Zarthax was one. Who's the troll? He got 75, I think.
You're always going to have people like Steven who just, well, there's some questions about that, but you're always going to have people like that that love to get to the highest point. And
Right.
I think allowing them to keep going is a good thing. And if they want to play like that, who are we to stop them? Really earn them? I thought it was like completely maxed out at 75.
I'm sure it probably was just automatic, and it showed a number because,
Oh, kind of like what they did in WoW when you got to 60 and then like you had the EXP up
Yeah.
on there, but you couldn't actually get any more.
Right, yeah. So, like, your scroll would just update with the formula for experience, for the next level. So,
So could you actually go to 76 in theory? Oh, okay. You'd be stuck at 0. That's kind of lame. Strike that. That's very lame.
yeah, it's interesting, because I think ultimately we have to prepare for the fact that with the game being online long enough, then majority of the crowd will eventually catch up, and so it's you have to kind of we'll have to kind of discuss and decide on whether it's an expansion kind of thing and say, okay, we're going to go to level 100. I really, I personally I hate that idea because
Yeah.
every game that's done that has just gotten worse because for how long it lasts. So it's almost like in that frame of mind, that DFC lived as long as it should have, for us to enjoy it and not get bored with it. But
I agree. I mean, every game, whenever they push that, you have to come up with all new items that are better, and you have power creep going on. All the existing gear was kind of bad in comparison. I know the DFC never really had that problem because of the way
Right.
they stuck to their levels for the most part. And really, what other than like Wolfsky and their new forms, most people didn't get any kind of spells after like what 50.